a week ago that you didn't want your team to look past New Hampshire to Michigan. How did you guard against a drop-off in intensity tonight?
You know, maybe because we hadn't played in about a year and a half, it felt like it just so long ago that we played the Michigan game, and guys have been just fully immersed in studying with finals week, and so I think they're probably really anxious to play. We had a rough week. We really had a rough week. You know, whenever you have time between games, you hope to make a pretty good move in terms of improvement and having good practices, but between, well, obviously we've got some injuries and illness, and also then sometimes you can't get everybody to a practice because of finals. That always happens. So we had short on numbers sometimes, so I was a little bit worried that we hadn't made the progress I had hoped. Sometimes it's hard to make progress finals week, but because of less numbers than usual. But having said all that, you know, gosh, I was really pleased and surprised how well we played tonight. And I know we had Nicholls outmanned, but still, you know, this is a team that went to New Mexico and had New Mexico down in the second half. So I've seen them play much, much better than this. But for us, it's about how we play, and I thought we played, for the most part, a very, very good game tonight.
But that's the kind of start you talked about hoping to have. You know, it's just dominant, 20-2.
Yeah, always hoping for those. Takes a lot of the stress out of coaches, I can tell you that for sure, which turns into a lot more stress before the game than during the game, which I like those a lot better. But yeah, I was, you know, you don't know after a long break, are you going to be rusty and going to take you a while to get into your rhythm, or you're just so excited to play that it's all going to go well. And Sterling kind of got us off to a good start. Sterling had been going yesterday to Chicago to a funeral, so he missed practice. And I know he's got a little bit of a heavy heart. He got back late last night, and you know, it's good to see him get back and get right in the swing of things. But can't hardly sit here and not talk about Jordan Tolbert's rebounding, which is turning into almost looks like a video game sometimes the way he's rebounding. And the guys wouldn't let me. I didn't want to take him out, but I kind of wanted to take him out. The guys would not let me take him out, hoping he would get a couple more. But 23 rebound night is, I don't care who you're playing or when you're playing or what you're playing. That's you don't see many of those. And then to show that two other guys were in double figures rebound. We have been two things that we are or have been, and I'm pretty sure will continue. What are we, 8 games in, I think? We have been an outstanding rebounding team. I mean, just maybe as good of numbers as I've seen in all the years that I've coached. And the other thing we are very, very unselfish. The ball is shared, the ball is moved. Not only the ball, but just the attitude of the guys on the bench and in timeouts, and always talking about, you know, getting someone else in the game, and I'll come out of the game, and let's get this guy a shot, and let's get that guy a shot. That's when guys get really fun. So their effort is outstanding, can always get better. Their camaraderie, their unselfishness is outstanding, and it's made for a successful start to the season. We still have a lot of improvement left, a lot of room to improve. We're going to need to improve, but so far they've been a really fun team to coach.
What is the status on Keith and Marcus?
Well, neither one practiced all week. Neither one has practiced since the Michigan game, so that was part of you know, the issue. And then Cedric has a fever, and that's you know, not real timely. But those guys, you know, we're for tomorrow. You know, I keep telling you guys, hopeful, which is I don't think even an official status. It's my status, hopeful, but questionable, doubtful. What are the other ones? You know, but we'll see. I honestly don't know. I would certainly tell you if I knew, you know, if one or both would be in there tomorrow. But I just don't know at this point. So it really is like a game time decision, and we could certainly use at least one of them.
And
When
then
you dress
Cedric,
only
what's it?
7, what is your greatest fear?
And I had a lot, yeah, without question, foul trouble or injury, particularly early in the game. And, you know, that's, it's funny how, you know, you picture the game, the plan was to try to play as much man as we could, but I was just so ready to just start going zone, particularly in the first half, just to get us to the second half. This was the plan going in, try to make sure we get to halftime not in foul trouble. And we weren't even close to any foul trouble, so I don't think we played a possession of zone. And then in the second half, I kind of wanted to, but players did not. They did not want to do that. They never seem to want to do that. But you have to force them sometimes. But that was it. That was completely it. And you know, I kind of had in my mind the way the Michigan game started, where in the first possession, Marcus is out. So if we had an injury in this game and we're in foul trouble, those were tremendous fears that kept me up late last night. I can promise you that. But none of it turned out. It was a clean game, you know, from the fouling standpoint, officiating standpoint, and it never, you know, none of those fears. But I also think it's the coach's job to think about all the. It's really not that hard to prepare if everything's going to go right. You know, I think part of the coaching staff's job is to try to prepare for a lot of the things that could go wrong and have some kind of plan, or at least have it thought through a little bit beforehand. So what goes with that is a lot of worry and stress, like you said, and you hope that it never really materializes. But I think it's important that you think the game through that far each and every night, just in case.
Is Cedric going to be back tomorrow?
Not tomorrow. No, he had a fever. He's got, I think, one of those respiratory things that's going around. So he's not in too good shape.
You mentioned the risk of injury and foul trouble. Where did the concern about playing back-to-back games on back-to-back nights with a short bench rank in your
Yeah,
concern?
because you couldn't rest. You know, if you had a bigger bench, you could play less minutes. That's a big concern for tomorrow. We're looking at several guys in the 30-minute or more mark, which would be one thing if we were in a conference tournament where our opponent had done the same thing, but that's not the case. It's almost polar opposites. Hampton, if I'm not mistaken, has not played since December 5th. They went into finals. So one thing they are is fresh. I don't know. Rusty, I hope, is another thing that they are, but they are fresh. We are not, but we did get the rust off of us, so, you know, maybe that'll be an advantage. But at the same time, you know, these are college young men that are in tremendous shape, and we expect them to bounce back. And, you know, competitive athletes, that's what they're going to do. So definitely not an excuse if we don't play well. We can't use it that way, but we are, even tonight, trying to do some recovery things. We'll do some recovery things in the morning and try to get them feeling as good as we possibly can.
When do you expect Shimmy Ojale to be available?
Well, he's would be eligible tomorrow, but we're contemplating a red shirt. He's completely involved in that. No final decision has been made yet, but that is a strong possibility. I will say that. So he may or may not play tomorrow, but it's, you know, there is some momentum towards redshirting. So probably know officially tomorrow.
What about keeping your team focused in the second half, particularly?
You know, it's
What
funny.
did you do?
Well, I don't know that I did. I mean, it's hard. I really feel this over the years, and you know, you've seen so many different situations. I'm not so sure that a very, very big halftime lead might not be the hardest thing to play with in basketball.